Hi, I'm Jessica Amir for the Finance News Network. Joining me from Kyckr is Managing Director David Cassidy. David, welcome to the Finance News Network.
Thank you, Jessica.
So first up, for those not familiar with Kyckr, can you give us an introduction to the company?
Of course, yeah. The 21st century is very much so protecting against money laundering, terrorism financing. And in this world today, having solutions that use technology to automate is a pretty important outcome. So we're classified as a regulatory technology company. We use technology to automate the cookie cutter aspects of making decisions about who you do business with, specifically companies, not consumers. And that's our sandpit.
Thanks, David. Now to your FY17 results. What were some of the highlights?
Yeah, so FY17, we saw a continued increase in our revenue. We're up 34% across the year. And that's been important to us. We wanted to show the last couple of years that year on year we can continue to increase revenue. We had some important, customers come on board that pre-position us for ongoing increase in revenue in the ensuing years as well.
Thanks, David. Now to your service offering in more detail. How do you differentiate from an internal offering?
Well, here's the thing, Jessica. Most companies today, banks in particular, have used people to resolve issues around compliance and know your customer. What we do is pretty important. We're connected to now over 180 business registers around the world. When you're making a decision on a company surrounding KYC or compliance, the information in a business register has got legal veracity to it, because most companies in the world are legally obliged to keep their information up to date in a business register. So all this plumbing throughout the world, we access the information live, number one. We store no data. Dun & Bradstreet, other players store data. We don't. We go live. As soon as we go live, we turn on company watch. So if there's a change to your information, you're deregistered, whatever, we let our customers know straight away. And in the world of compliance where people have been used, technology doing this is like landing on Mars. It's a big change.
And because of your unique service offering, over the last 4 months, I believe you've won quite a lot of outstanding clients.
There's been a real turnaround in our business this FY18 year at the start. Number one, straight away we've signed up Bloomberg globally out of New York, and that's important to us. The validation we get from a customer like Bloomberg to next go to every bank in the world is extraordinary for us as a business. Up and above the revenue opportunity they present to us. In the last couple of weeks, we've also signed up IBM globally, and they're connecting us to their AI intelligence data sets for all the banks to use around the world. So this has been a sea change period for our business.
Thanks, David. A more general question now for you. KYC, or Know Your Customer, as well as anti-money laundering, have really been in the media spotlight. What does it cost banks annually when they do get it wrong?
Here's the thing, Jessica. Since the GFC, US banks alone have been fined $320 billion. Indeed, last year, HSBC globally spent $3.2 billion themselves trying to manage their compliance obligation. And a lot of banks are on deferred fines. The things we've seen in Australia lately have been happening all over the world. So this is the runway for us. If you don't manage your obligations, the fines are impending. And also the regulators are getting stronger and the regulation is getting more acidic as well. So you really have to get yourself in line, and the only way you can do that is to use technology. Yet using people is too challenging and it takes too long. It's like painting the harbour bridge. As soon as you've started to paint it, it goes rusty, and that's what happens to your data here. It's an issue of data lag. You've got to use technology to keep yourself live and current and accurate as far as your compliance obligations are concerned.
I love the analogy, David. Looking at the next 12 months and longer term, what do you see happening for Kyckr?
Having these global blue chip customers on board, it's important that we show revenue coming from them and the sort of revenue that we would expect as a result of having these global clients. So that's important this financial year. And as a result of that, turning around the cash reach and the cash flow in the business and becoming profitable through in FY19, these are the outcomes I would expect us to see across the next 12 to 18 months.
Fantastic. Well, David Cassidy, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you, Jessica.